Welcome. Join me as we listen to people say stupid shit. This is Bleach, please.
So as much as I've divorced, I would never ever advise anybody to go through divorce. You know, life after divorce. As a woman, I would honestly sit here and say, as much as I've made the decision and the choice to divorce my husband then, I also regret it. I don't regret it because I still loved him, but I regret it because I feel like I denied my children the right and the opportunity to have what people call a normal family. Now today I'm sitting with kids who are in the statistic of divorce. So as much as I've divorced, I would never ever advise anybody to go through a divorce.
Come to the realization tonight, I'm not made to date in 2023. I don't understand where the hell.
Let it out.
This is going to. I'm not made for situationships, whatever that means. No, I'm made to be a wife and a mom. I want my man to come home to me. I want to have dinner cooked. I want laundry done. I want to do all that. That's what I'm made for. That's what God made me for. I know people are going to be like, it's 2023. Women don't need to be doing that. I want that. I want that.
She just stayed.
I work with women. I would never tell a woman to walk through that in the same frame of mind I was in when I did it.
And when you say that, but what frame of mind was that? What do you mean by that in particular?
I was very, very hurt. I was very angry. And I remember, like, when I made, like, the decision, I was, like, hysterically crying on the phone with my attorney. That was not the person I should have been on the phone with. When, like, that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, I was hysterically crying. And I was not in any position to make that decision.
I regret every single day of my life, the last 6 years, giving my ex 50-50 custody of our children, and stayed away from sharing about my divorce because I don't want you guys to think it's my entire personality.
I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And this would probably shock a lot of my friends and my family because I hadn't told anybody, okay? I have been searching for something in my relationship that we don't have for the whole time we've been married, which has been 10 years. There is not a single thing about my husband in and of himself that I do not love. Let me be very clear about that.
Anybody out there who got divorced and like regrets it, especially women 35, 40, 45, please tap in and let me know, because at this point I am like probably not 99, maybe 89% sure that I'm probably going to be divorced within the next year. So I can't stay with it. I can't be with you. I can't. And I feel like I've tried so hard. So I've been married for 3 years. People always ask me. And it's really gotten to the point where it's like the past like probably 2 months have just been the worst. So where it's like, oh, maybe we just call it. Maybe we just call a spade a spade. But then I'm like, I remember when my parents got divorced, and I do not want to put, like my son through that. But also, doing it for the kids is not enough. Love.
As a woman who is in the middle of divorce at 52, I have few regrets. I was with my ex for 27 years, and we were married just shy of 25. Like many women, I was not the primary breadwinner in our house. My ex-husband traveled for a living and was away from home for more than half the month. I always worked part-time, but was the one who was always here with our 2 kids, taking care of the home, doing all the things. While I would never in a million years change the time that I had at home with my kids, financially, it has definitely left me in a very precarious position in my separation.
I just left the gym, as you can probably tell. And when I work out, it always gives me a lot of time to reflect on life. And sometimes that's good and sometimes it's not so good. And today I was just kind of wallowing in some thoughts while I'm listening to this song that always makes me go, why was I not enough? And while I don't want him back, I don't want the chaos, I don't want the gaslighting, I don't want the lies, I don't want the mistreatment, I don't want to walk on eggshells anymore. But it just goes, I just go, why? Why did, after all those years, I not matter at all? Why was he not capable of love? And I know that that's just a trait of some people, that they just can't let people in. But I gave so much of myself. I poured myself into that relationship. I lost myself as a result of that relationship. I gave up friends, I pushed away family, I didn't do the things that I enjoyed doing to focus on the things he enjoyed doing because he was so afraid of the world. It's just like he didn't enjoy socializing, so therefore I couldn't enjoy socializing, and he did.
So I'm currently getting divorced from this guy, all right? And we're on good terms, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm sitting here right now, I'm building this shelving thing that I got, okay? And I'm just sitting here listening to some oldies music, screwing in all the screws by hand because I do not have a screwdriver, okay? And I'm doing it by hand, and as I'm like screwing every little tiny thing in, I keep thinking about how anytime that we had to build anything or do anything in this kind of realm of things, it was such a fucking fight. It was a nightmare. It was just, he would get overwhelmed so quickly and he would get angry and he would take it out on me, and like he would never listen to me. He would never listen to me about anything. Like I would be like, this is how you do it, this is what the instruction says, and he didn't give a fuck. He wouldn't listen. And I would just, eventually I learned, because I was with him for about 16 years, married 20 years together. And eventually I just learned just not to say anything. I would just...
The court notified me that my final decree of divorce has been approved by the judge. I know that it sucks being alone. I come home and I'm alone. I go everywhere alone. I don't hardly talk to him anymore. I don't blame him. I filed for the divorce. So I'm sure people are wondering, well, you filed. Why are you so upset? Why are you crying? Just because you make a decision that you think is going to end up making things better doesn't mean that you have to give up the fact that you love that person or that you did it because you were trying